Okay, good morning, everyone. We are back with another episode of This Takes the Cake. My name is Caroline Green, and today we have a super special guest with us. We have Anna Lovell from Brook Green Gardens.
Good morning.
Yay. Anna, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You look fabulous. Are you a
Thank
morning
you.
person?
Occasionally.
I'm so not. So,
Well, we're used to being up late at night
I
with these
know.
parties. And so right now, we're kind of downtime. So I'm good
You're
during
right.
the day.
once I'm here, I'm fine.
Mhm.
But, Okay.
You've got your drink. You're okay.
Yes. My Kim maid, Kim Kardashian's Alani New. We love her. So, Anna, tell us what Brook Green Gardens is for the listeners listening who don't know what Brook Green is.
Brook Green Gardens was the first outdoor sculpture garden in America. It was
Oh,
founded in
I didn't know that.
1931. Yes. And it opened to the public in 1932. So we're celebrating our 92nd anniversary this year.
Oh, my gosh.
And we have over 9,000 acres of land that the Huntingtons purchased in the early 1930s. And
You always have the facts. Like, you know everything about Brook Green.
I was in marketing for 4 years at Brook Green before I took over weddings and events.
So, how long have you been at Brook Green?
Coming up on 7 years.
Oh, my gosh. I remember when I was little in, like, elementary school, we would go and have, like,
Field
trips
trips.
at Brook Green.
Mhm.
And
We
it
have a
was so
great
fun.
education department, and they
Yes.
have field trips all the time.
It was so fun. And now we were like work there all the time with you.
Right.
So funny. I love it.
And Brook Green is awesome because we have members.
Okay.
Members
Yes,
are
yes.
very important to
And
Brook
you have
Green.
to be a member to
You
get
have to be a
married.
member to book a wedding and have a wedding or a party or a special event there. So all of our private events are for members.
Yeah, I love it. I know when I first started actually with SNB, Brook Green was like such a scary venue for me because they were like, it was so big, but it was like one of like the prettiest things ever. But there were just so many things, and I was like, how am I going to remember all this? Like, there's like so many different places like for you to get married and like have your reception and all that stuff. So, but now I got it, I think.
You've got it. And we've only
Yeah.
got a few different venues. We
Yeah.
kind of have it organized down to a T. And I
Oh,
love when the
wait.
S&B team is at Brook Green. We,
I know. I love you. Like, I think we're obsessed with each other a little bit, like in the
right?
best
Well, we
way.
love Taylor Swift
We do. Oh my gosh. Anna went to the Eras tour. So jealous.
in New York City
Yeah.
with my daughters. We had a blast.
She
We wanted Caroline to come, but, I only could afford so many tickets.
I got to see videos. She was in her Lover era. She wore her pink dress.
I
It
wore
was
a
so
pink
cute.
dress.
And she got me a keychain. It's so cute. I still
You
have
have
it
it?
in my
Oh,
keys.
good. I
Yeah.
wondered if you lost it because it was a
Oh my
crazy
gosh,
night
no.
when I gave it to you.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Okay, gosh, I had a question for you, and I got sidetracked because of Taylor. But
Is it about Brook Green and the venues?
yes. Oh, yeah, yes. So tell us what you have coming, because you guys are making a lot of changes at Brook Green, and we're super excited about them.
Well,
So-
eventually, and probably within the next few years, we're going to have a beautiful new conservatory built
Oh my gosh.
that will be near the Welcome Center. The Welcome Center will be turned into the conservatory. And in there is a 3-story atrium, glass atrium, that we can have beautiful, wonderful parties.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
It'll be an inside facility so that we can have air conditioning or heat, so we can have things year round and not melt or freeze.
This is going to be
It's
like,
going to overlook the Fountain of the Muses. And
we don't have anything like this here.
No, we are state of the art, and
Yeah.
we're progressive. Our leadership team is amazing, and they're always very forward thinking. And we're in the process right now. We just broke ground on a new sculpture studio, and where all of the sculpture workshops will be. Our director of sculpture workshops, he will be in there and teaching classes, and that's where we're going to have.
That's so cool.
It's all about sculpture. It's really close to the Wall Building and the Holiday Cottage, so you'll get to see it.
Oh, yeah. See, there's so many places in Brook Green. Like, we have the Holiday College, we have Live Oak Alley, we have Diana Pool, like,
The Leonard Pavilion.
Yeah, there's
and now the
just, like-
Arboretum, which is
Yep.
going to be a beautiful addition.
so I'm going to try to find a boyfriend really fast and be the first bride in there.
Okay, girl, we talked about that.
I know.
We're going to have to find an NFL player or something.
I know.
Right? Okay.
But that's the goal anyway.
Right? I know. You and my daughter.
Yeah. See, I want to meet your daughters. I feel like we'd be like
You
BFFs.
would be besties.
I know.
Mhm.
So let's get into kind of wedding coordinators versus venue coordinators.
Mhm.
Obviously we love each other. Like as a planner, totally want a venue coordinator there. Like, it just makes me feel better, you know?
Well, you need somebody overseeing the property and who's responsible for the integrity of that property and to make sure everything runs smoothly. And that's why I love y'all. I love the other wedding planners that come there too, because you know my rules, you know my processes, you know my procedures, and you know what you can and can't do and what I won't let fly.
Okay, so you guys have a preferred vendor list, right? And, you know, everybody that gets married there has to go off of that.
Right.
Because Brook Green is just so, oh my gosh, just like the place. Like, it's so historical and, you know, there's so many things going on.
Well, we have to protect the integrity of the gardens and the sculptures and the trees and the plants and the land.
It doesn't just like stay that pretty with no effort.
No, we have a team.
Yeah. So actually that reminds me, we'll get back to this in a minute. But you guys have Night of 1,000 Candles every year. And that's like the event here. Like everybody I know goes.
Right.
And like
a holiday event of this part of the country. Yeah.
Yes.
80,000 people over 6 weeks of visiting.
And you told last time we were at Brook Green, I think you mentioned like how many people go and light the candles. Like how many candles and how many people do you have lighting them every single night, right?
Right. Every night we've got 2,500 candles that have to be lit within about 30 minutes. And so we have a team of staff and volunteers that, you know, we have a little kickoff meeting every night before the gates open for Nights of 1,000 Candles, and then we go light candles. And so,
that's so crazy.
About 2,500 candles in about 30 minutes. We light them all.
And
on the hurricanes,
big.
The pillars. Oh, yeah.
Gosh. And if you haven't been to Night of 1,000 Candles, you should really go. And really just to see, like, how many candles we're really talking. Like, it's different when you see it.
Tickets are on sale for members right now, but they go on sale to the main public next week.
Already?
General public. Oh, yeah. And you know we're going to sell out. So you need to pick your date,
so fast.
Get your tickets, and plan your visit around that.
This is like the ultimate, like, date night. I feel like everyone goes here for date night.
Right. And I always tell people.
I have third wheel for this, so
that's
I can
fine.
go.
Be a third wheel. But if you've been dating a while and your boyfriend gets tickets to Nights of 1,000 Candles, get your nails done. It's time.
Yes. Okay. We let's talk about that because, like, you have a thing where, I mean, you know, like everything about Brook Green, but there's like a tour that you do.
The proposal package.
Yes. It's a fake tour.
It's a fake tour.
Yes.
And it was so funny in a staff meeting, my boss Jay, that you know, he told everyone that every time I do a proposal package, I am up for an Academy Award because I'm like
so good.
Totally acting the whole time that, you know, I'm giving them the Huntington Sculpture Garden Tour, which is an actual tour that we give. Talks about an overview of the gardens, all the sculptures, the history, the plants, the animals, all that stuff. And so I give the tour, and once we get to Live Oak LA,
which is like the best aisle ever.
Mecca, right.
How long is that aisle? Do you know off the top of your head?
I know it takes like 2 minutes to walk down it.
It is so long.
The wedding pace, we would have to time it with songs. But we get to Live Oak LA, and the future groom knows that once we get there, I'm going to say, hey, this is a great spot for a photo to commemorate your tour. And I pull out my phone, and I don't turn on the camera. I turn on video, and that's his cue to propose. So we've got a video of the proposal. And
which
sometimes they have
good.
A photographer hiding behind the trees or whatever. But usually it's just me.
That's so crazy.
And then we go to the old kitchen and have champagne.
Oh, that's
And then we take
sweet.
some more photos, and then they can wander around the gardens on their own. And if they want to complete the tour, we do. Most of them don't.
I was going to say, like, last time, I think it was one of your recent ones, she was like, wait, can we finish the tour?
I know.
And
they were like
what?
so into the history and the information, which I was fine with. But I was like, okay.
Well, that was not what I was expecting, but okay. That's funny. I know you do so much there. It's crazy. I keep on thinking of, like, all these different things. But we're going to take it back for a second and kind of go through the differences of venue coordinator versus wedding coordinator. You are employed by the venue, Brook Green, and, you know, we are hired from the couple, but you do recommend us to so many people.
I have a preferred vendor list. There's 4 or 5 planners on it, and they are the ones that I trust, that know the rules, that know me, that know what, you know, we can do, what we can't. And I trust them completely. So if I've got 2 or 3 events going on at the same time, I'm not worried if those planners are there because I know that everything will go smoothly.
So Anna has a golf cart, and like Brook Green is so big, and Anna is always on her golf cart, and she's just like zooming because they'll have like 3 events like at one time in Brook Green. So she'll just one place to another. Hey, you good? Gonna check on the next place. Like,
right. And that's the importance of having a planner there, is because I can't be at all of them
right.
at the same time to make sure everything's going smoothly, make sure people aren't doing things in the gardens they shouldn't be.
And you don't have to worry about, vendors asking you a million questions and you're like, I don't know. And I don't have time for that right now,
Right.
So
yeah, that golf cart. We love that golf cart, don't we?
Oh my gosh, I love the golf cart. There's one wedding where we had everything done. It was like one of my favorite weddings ever. There was one wedding though that we worked and everything was done. Bride and groom, we love them. We're so happy. Like literally ever.
Right.
I can't. I think we were so fangirling over them, and up until their wedding, like every wedding we had together, we were like, "Are you ready for Michael and Matt?" And we're like, "We're so ready for Michael and Matt."
Because that was it was almost the last one of the spring season. So
yeah, that, and
we were looking forward to it.
They were just like the best to work with.
So
ever.
Easy and fun.
Do you ever wish that your clients could come back and do it again?
Well, I always tell them to keep in touch. I mean, they're members, so come see me. Come visit, come say hello, come check in.
I wish we had something like that, but they have to, like I want them to go get married again.
Right.
Like, come back. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we are going to clean up ceremony. There's a few things left behind, and, we just want to check it out because ceremony wasn't exactly right next to reception. And Anna showed us, what was it? It was like the children's exhibit.
Children's garden.
It was so cute. There was like a huge bumblebee, and it was so colorful, and it was like the best little
It's so whimsical and magical in there.
Yeah. Like, wedding day's tiring. Like,
it's exhausting. It's not just tiring.
Yes.
We're exhausted.
Like, mentally and physically, we're like, oh my gosh, we need a nap. So that was like the best little 10-minute break ever.
We just did a quick walkthrough, and I showed you the summer light exhibit back there, and
it was so cool.
Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, speaking of wedding day being so tiring, I feel like I've tried your wedding night ritual.
Oh, after
the
melatonin and a glass of white wine, and you watch Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
Right. I mean, we have to wind down.
Yes.
We get home at 11:30 or 12, and
literally.
So, we're wired up. Everybody else in our house is asleep, and so
this is what Anna does after every wedding day, and she told me about it, and I was like, I have to try that because I'm so tired. Like, my feet are hurting so bad.
Right, but you're so tired you won't be able to fall asleep.
Yeah. I'll stay up till 3 a.m. So that's the combo: melatonin, glass of wine, and Saturday Night Live on your couch.
And then you're ready you calm down, you unwind a little bit, and you go to sleep. All right. As assistant director of events, private events in the gardens, I'm responsible for the integrity of the gardens and to make sure everything's running smoothly, to make sure the vendors have all what they need.
Right.
But with multiple events going on, that's why I rely on the wedding planners and the party planners to help, because I can't be looking for somebody's necklace or setting the tables or doing all this stuff when I might have an elopement going on also, and that I am responsible for that. I don't require a planner for just a ceremony. But
I mean, people can get super needy on wedding day. And that's not a bad thing at all.
It's their wedding day.
Right. But they can misplace their necklace, or they do need this steamer, or, they need something out of the emergency kit. And it can be very time consuming, and you just don't your role is to take care of the venue.
That's why you guys have those emergency kits. Because I don't have a steamer in the cottage, or I don't have any safety pins, or lady supplies, or, anything else anybody could be looking for.
And, we're constantly moving behind the scenes to get those questions answered, or, get that steamer, or pack up bride and groom's things,
Right, get the food ready to take.
Exactly.
Get the cake ready to take, that kind of stuff. And then you clean up.
Yeah.
My favorite part.
I know. We are fast, though.
We're quick.
Yeah, we really are.
And if,
and Anna's the best because she stays and helps.
Right. I was going to say, I help because we all we want to get out of there.
I know. It's so sweet of you.
And we need to leave the gardens ready for the next day. We can't.
Yes. And it just also makes it really easy for EventWorks the next day to come and get everything super quickly instead of, having to go and get each individual glass, which the caterers are always so good at.
Right. And then sometimes the next day we'll find glasses out in the gardens that people were wandering around, and they set them down. And
speaking of that, what's the craziest?
Are we going
there?
We
have to. You guys have to understand, Brook Green Gardens, there's a gate to get in. If you're not a member,
there's no lights.
Yes.
Dark.
This is like, there's literally lions and tigers and bears, oh my, in here. Like,
There's coyotes,
everything.
foxes, alligators,
Snakes.
snakes.
I'm terrified of
otters.
snakes. What's your code if there's a
I
snake?
can't tell you.
So there's a code. There's a special code. And if there's a snake, then I will literally scream the code and Anna will come running. And she's so brave that she'll get rid of it. But anyway, like, you do not mess with Brook Green after hours because you will probably get eaten alive by something.
It's dark except for where the reception is. Everything is dark.
And that's because, you know, we
It's
have
the
to set up.
animal's home.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's also what makes Brook Green, like, so special, which I love.
I have been chased by coyotes, though.
You've been chased by
I have.
coyotes?
One night, it was after a Nights of 1,000 Candles event wedding. I was walking through the Arboretum, turning off lights, and I heard howling behind me. And I didn't know how far back they were. Multiple. And I didn't know how far back it was. And I didn't have my radio because radios make noise. I didn't want the noise going on during the reception or the wedding.
Yep.
And so I was wandering around, turning off all these lights, and I heard, ow, 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 and I didn't know how far it was back. And so I froze, and then I just walked to the golf cart, and I drove to my cottage, and I left, and I didn't turn all the lights off, but I was afraid I was going to die.
Oh, my God.
And then one
you guys,
night,
like, this is no joke. There's, like, wildlife out here.
Yeah, and then one night, I lost my name tag in the gardens, but I didn't know it. And so the safety or a horticulture volunteer found it the next day, and they thought that something happened to me because my name tag was in the gardens, and I was nowhere to be
just
seen.
Your name tag?
Yes, I got eaten.
Oh my gosh! Yes. So
but no, Brook Green is a magical, wonderful place.
Yeah,
and it's so beautiful. And those weddings,
really
when you're
is.
walking down the gates or you're walking down Live Oak, LA, you are just.
I can't get over Live Oak, LA. Like
the oak trees, the 300-year-old oak trees covered in Spanish moss, and the beautiful flowers.
Especially like when we've done in the past, like with Night of 1,000 Candles, it's like all those trees are lit up, and it's like
there's 180,000 lights.
It's insane
in Live Oak, LA.
It looks insane. I can't.
It's crazy.
It is so beautiful.
We'll start decorating for that the week after Labor Day.
Oh my gosh!
We take down Summer Light. That ends August 26th, and then
This is like an end of the year ish event too. So like
it starts the Saturday after Thanksgiving and goes through New Year's Eve.
That's crazy. I can't believe you got chased by coyotes. See, I'm like so not the nature girl, but you know this. Every time I'm at Brook Green, I'm
You're
like
getting eaten alive.
I know. I'm like so scared of every bug.
You talk everybody into spraying for mosquitoes because you don't want to get that.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll collect your check at rehearsal.
Y'all get it. I got it. I'll take care of it. And if they're not doing it, I'll pay for it.
But it is like, it's so pretty. Okay. So coyotes, which was crazy. But have you ever had like wild guests stay?
We have had some wild guests. And, we always tell the brides and grooms in their meetings with us that they won't see me during the reception unless there's an issue. Mm-hmm. We've had people do inappropriate things as far as, smoking in the gardens, which is not allowed.
Right.
I mean, it's a garden. Do you want to set the gardens on fire? I mean, come on.
That would be awful.
Hi. And then, people using the restroom, not in a restroom, in the garden. I mean, come on.
I remember one time a guest came up to me and asked me if he could smoke a cigarette. And I was like, no, I'm so sorry. And he was like, what if I go all the way over there? And I was like, no. And he was like,
they can only go to the parking lot. And where the receptions are, they're not close to the parking lot. So I find these people, I smell smoke, so I'm wandering around looking for it. Mm-hmm. And then I found these two guys hiding under a tree smoking. And I go, what are you doing? They're like, I was like, you're not allowed to smoke in here. Because, we didn't know. I'm like, well, then why are you hiding?
Yeah, right?
Don't you think we can smell it?
Oh, my gosh.
And, there's been some other crazy things. But use your imagination. You can guess what I found. So we don't need to talk about that.
That's so crazy. That would be absolutely terrifying. If you, because like
I'm mortified. I have a mental picture in my head that I'll never erase.
Once like Brook Green's closed, it's closed.
Yeah, the only guests in there, the only people are in there are the wedding people.
We're like you're the last one to leave,
right?
Like, and we're right before you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after y'all leave, I do another sweep, and then tell safety we're gone, and then I'm out of there.
That's so crazy. It's like pitch dark. So,
but I'm never afraid in there ever.
No. I mean, I'm just saying it would be wild for like a drunk guest to like, you know, just stay.
One vendor we have told me a story that when it was about 2:00 in the morning, they had come back to take down the lights out of the tent. A guest from that wedding just kind of wandered into the Palmetto Garden, and
did they know where he was?
Passed out on a bench somewhere, and I guess nobody missed him, or they thought he left or whatever.
Well, thank God they went back.
Right? So anyway, that's happened before.
Lord, people are crazy. I love it. You guys require a wedding planner for weddings, but we love that you guys are there too, because I mean, Brook Green especially, there's so many different things, you know, like I said back in the beginning of the podcast, when I first started at Brook Green, or when I first started at SNB, I was super nervous about Brook Green because, you know, there's so many things to know and it's so big, but it's also like so beautiful. So
right. But yes, I'm always there. That's one of my responsibilities.
And I probably ask you a million questions.
No, I don't care.
Like, I will email Anna, like, the client will ask me something. I'm like, well, let me just check with Anna. Because
like,
it'll
that's
be
a hard
like
no.
a crazy question. But yeah, she's like always there to let us know, like, oh, we can definitely make this happen, or no, like, this can't happen because it's, you know, Brook Green policy. Like, I had one of the questions I had a client ask me was about their dog, which I didn't know, but Brook Green has no
dogs
policy.
are allowed in Brook Green Gardens. None.
So it's like things like that.
Impact our animal collection. We want to make sure all of our animals are safe.
Right. Very true. Let's see. So what do you think comes first, the planner or the venue?
I always I do the venue tours.
Right.
And then I recommend my planners.
The venue.
And then they contact you and figure out, you know, how much things are going to cost, and you know if we would fit into their budget and all that kind of stuff. And then when they select their venue, then I really don't talk to them again until you guys come visit. We do like a tour, like a walkthrough.
I love when the client picks the venue first as a planner.
I think because I tell them, I'm like, that's the easiest, that's the most important thing. Once you do that, then it's easy.
It's like
but that's the really challenging part, to figure out where you want to have your wedding.
Yes.
Because Brook Green is awesome and I love it, but we don't have any indoor facilities. Right. You know, you've got to get a tent, or if you're in the Leonard Pavilion, you've got that, which is a beautiful venue. I love the Leonard Pavilion with the oak ceilings.
We have a few upcoming there. I'm excited.
I know. Well, that's all we've got now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There was one we did last year. It was like the most fun setup day ever. Like, it was beautiful outside. It was in, it was a Live Oak LA and Palmetto Garden wedding. And Ryan was there with Global Truth, and he was playing Taylor Swift for us all day.
Yeah, he was.
Like, it was so fun. So we get about maybe an hour before ceremony, maybe even less. You know, bride is here. They're doing photos. We're setting up, obviously. You know, it's a full tablescape. So, I mean, we have the water goblet, we have the plate, we have everything. The whole
total table setting.
Yes.
Total.
No tent. No tent.
Oh, yes.
So it downpours. Yes. I mean, absolutely downpours. We're like...
We had beautiful specialty linens for that, too.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it was such a beautiful wedding. But, yeah, specialty linen, specialty napkins, like everything. And we didn't have a tent. So there was one point where, like, all the photographer, I mean, we're, like, all under Ryan's little DJ tent. And we're, like, trying to brainstorm. We're like, what are we going to do? We had...
Didn't we gather all the linens, though? We saved the linens.
It was, like, literally, I've never seen, like... I mean, not that I've never seen this. It was just crazy to watch this happen. Like, we had Jen from EventWorks coming and bringing us new linens. And, like, she was... like ripping old linens off the table. We had inlet affairs.
But guess what? We got it done.
We got it done literally like right on time.
Teamwork.
Yeah. We had one of our girls go to like Dollar Tree and get like mops and towels and everything. And it was like so insane. Ryan and his team were helping us get the tables back together.
It was crazy. I totally remember that.
Crazy.
Well, and a tent, you know, so a lot of people don't want a tent. They want a garden wedding with the lighting and it's so spectacular. And I get it. But gosh, you need a tent.
Just in case.
And you never know, even if the sky is perfectly blue, it could drop rain.
Especially living here. I mean, that's just the reality.
And I know
of it.
the whole, what is it, a 7-day notice or a 2-week notice?
So we have to like secure the tent within 14 days.
Okay.
And then we can, if it's a Saturday wedding, we can we have to call it on that Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're like watching the weather like crazy.
And I get it. Tents are pricey.
Yeah.
And that's another, if you don't use a tent, you could put that money towards something else. And I totally get it. And that's not like the look you want. I get it. But come on.
I mean, but there was nothing that we could do.
It just rained.
It
wasn't.
It just rained.
Not in the forecast or anything.
I was so scared I was going to get some kind of like foot fungus from that day because I was like.
Your feet were so wet.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was so scared.
Did it get muddy?
Not really.
Because it really just rained fast and then it was over.
Yeah.
But still,
it was just downpoured. And then we had ceremony. It was beautiful. Like we wiped down the chairs and then as soon as they got to cocktail hour, we were finishing up little details. And then it was like perfect for the rest of the night. So that will always
Those are the kind of things that we have to be prepared for though, because you never know. Every second could be totally different from the previous.
But the whole vendor team was so on it. Like it was usually that's like our responsibility, of course, is to get reception set up and all the things. But everybody was doing something. Right. It was crazy. I loved it. It was awesome.
Well, we have exclusive partnerships with EventWorks for all rentals. Right. We have, and they're the best. They have the most selection. We feel. I know there's some things that other vendors might have that they don't, but they work really hard to get those kinds of things in, and we trust them, and they have a great product, and that's why we have an exclusive relationship with them.
We do too.
Right. And also the caterers. We only allow 2 caterers in Brookgreen, and so sometimes people have issue with that, but Inlet Affairs can do anything, and so can Annette at Austin's. I mean,
yes,
the food.
They're both awesome.
I mean, I'm lucky enough to get fed every wedding, and I have never
I always save you a plate.
Meal. I know you all save me a plate.
Yeah, we actually had Jen on the podcast last week, and she was talking about all of that good stuff, and they're just awesome at EventWorks, so we love them. Okay, Anna, so what are a few things that you would say that a bride has to consider when choosing Brookgreen as her wedding venue?
Well, she definitely is going to want an outdoor wedding and ceremony and reception. I mean, it's outdoor for now until the conservatory is built, which might be 2 or 3 years. But everything is outdoors. Weather might play a part in it. Like I tell brides, and I've told you, we can control everything but Mother Nature. I know. That's the only thing we can't control.
We say that all the time, too. But that's like, with where we are in Myrtle Beach, Pawleys Island, Murrells Inlet area, that's a lot of the venues here.
Right.
As so you got to be okay with that.
Right. But I think a lot of brides and grooms, by the time the wedding day comes, they're just ready to be married and have their party, and they're not. There's more stress about it until it gets here, and then usually the day of, they're like, let's just get married.
Yep. So I know we've been talking about weddings, and we've talked about a few other things, but I mean, Brookgreen is so much more than weddings. So tell us, what other events that you guys hold throughout the year. I know there's so many.
Besides Nights of 1,000 Candles, we already talked about that. Our big event coming up soon is our annual tribute concert, and we do that in the Arboretum with a 600-person tent. This year, it's a tribute to the Eagles. It's going to be amazing. Last year was Queen, which was so good.
Oh, wow,
oh my
that's
gosh,
fun.
Yes. But we're really excited about having the Eagles tribute. Tickets are on sale now.
And
it's
so is
September 13th through the 17th.
Members only, or can outside guests come?
Non-members,
as well?
Yeah, it's open to everyone.
Oh, okay.
Members get special pricing on events and things like that. And then after that, we've got, I think, the Junkanoo coming up, which is the Gullah Geechee celebration. We've got Harvest Home Weekend, which is our annual fall festival. Brew at the Zoo is coming up. And then after that, Nights of 1,000 Candles. So we love Brew at the Zoo.
We should have an S&B outing at one of these. That'd be so fun.
You totally should have S&B outing at Brew at the Zoo.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to play a game?
I'd love to play a game.
Yay, I love games.
Is this like Truth or Dare?
No.
Thank you. It's a Wednesday morning.
Right? It's too early. Maybe next time.
Yeah, we'll do an evening event.
Oh, that we should record
a night at S&B.
It'd be really funny if we recorded a podcast watching Saturday Night Live with our wine and melatonin after a wedding,
because we'll look horrid.
Yeah. Oh,
luckily you can just hear us.
Yeah.
But that would be really fun.
We would sound Delulu. That'd be so funny. Okay, so the game is going to be called This or That. And so Peyton will do this. Peyton, our producer, we love her. Shout out. She has all of our social media, and she will occasionally put this game on our story with like so many different topics, and it's like my favorite thing ever.
I'll have to look at it. I don't know if I've seen that.
She'll do it occasionally.
Okay.
It's so fun. Okay, so the first this or that is first look or wait until ceremony.
First look.
I agree. I think so too. From a planner perspective, just because we can get them in for photos. And then they can enjoy cocktail hour.
Well, and then my reasoning is similar to that.
It's different.
But oh my gosh, it cuts down on their anxiety.
Yeah, it does.
Do you remember that bride I had? I think it was an S&B event, and she was
freaking
out, and she was walking herself down Live Oak LA. She didn't have anybody giving her away.
And that's a long aisle, y'all.
A long aisle.
It is such a long aisle.
She was stressed, and so I was bringing her on the golf cart, which is my favorite thing to do, from the Genuine Gallery.
It's my favorite thing to do,
We love that.
too.
And it was just she and I, and we were talking. And I could tell she was nervous, and I was just, giving her a little pep talk. We go around Diana Pool, and we see 2 wild otters run over and hop in the water.
Otters? That's
Baby
so
wild
cute.
otters jumped in the Diana Pool. They were swimming and playing, and she said, "You know what? Can we just sit here and watch this for a minute?" I'm like, "Of course we can." So I thought you guys were the planner, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I told him we'd be there in a minute. And so we watched.
I mean, at that point, it's on her time.
Right. And she watched for a minute. She said, "Okay, I'm ready now." And then, so those sweet otters at Brook Green Gardens and beautiful Diana Pool
I would have cried.
calmed her nerves. And she went and walked down that 2-minute aisle.
Wow. Otters
and
and
got married. First look cuts down on anxiety. And that's my big reason.
I like that one. I like it, too, because I feel like first look gives them a special moment together. Right. You know?
And I always do, when they do the first look, I'm like, it's only you and the photographer. Nobody else is out there. They may be peeking through a window, but there's nobody out there but you guys. This is your special time. Mm-hmm. Like the rest of the night is not yours.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be coming up to you. Okay. Fall or spring weddings?
Oh, I love both.
I know. I do, too, for different reasons.
Right.
I feel like spring
totally
weddings.
Different settings.
Yeah. Spring is more my vibe. But fall is like...
Fall's cooler. Yeah. And the humidity is less.
I know. Right? It's so great.
But spring has the azaleas.
Yeah. It's tough.
And it's a garden.
I mean, I feel like neither one of us really have to worry too much about, like, midsummer weddings.
No,
I
don't.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
Yeah. It's just too hot. It's like our catch-up season.
Right. I mean, I do ceremony onlys during the summer, but those are... 2 hours. They're easy and they're beautiful. And
literally, she does this all the time. Like, it's not just like these big, full blown out weddings.
We do elopements.
Like crazy. So many things going on all the time at Brook Green. Okay. Matching bridesmaids dresses or all different bridesmaids dresses?
All different.
Really?
Oh, I like the same
I never
color.
know how to answer this one.
I mean, I love anything, but for me, like when I saw... I forget whose wedding it was, but they all had like a similar hue to them, but they were all different. And I thought it was maybe their personalities or the bride let her friends be themselves and not what she wanted. And I think that's nice that she lets them pick out their own style.
I think in photos,
my wedding, everybody had the same dress.
Where'd you get married?
In Indianapolis, almost 27 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Aw, do you have I want to see your wedding photos.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. It was kind of the time where JFK Jr. and his wife, they died in a plane crash, but they had this beautiful wedding down in like Tybee Island in Georgia, and she totally was my inspiration for this. Like I had a beautiful short sleeve dress, and I had gloves, and I had a beautiful veil.
Oh my gosh!
I'll show you my pictures.
I want to see.
My husband looks so handsome. I mean, he's handsome now, but we looked. I don't know. That was my whole vibe.
Can't wait to get married,
right?
Do you still have your wedding dress?
Yes, it's boxed up for my girls.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna ask you. So are you? You have a few girls.
I have 2 girls and 2 boys.
Are you gonna would you take your dress apart and like what do you think?
I don't know. I had
that's like a thing. That's like a trend right now.
Didn't we just had that? I think a bride had taken the trim off of her mother's dress and put it at the bottom of her veil.
Yeah,
and that was really pretty.
I like this
then
idea.
She kind of had a seamstress fix the mother's wedding dress, and the daughter wore that to her rehearsal, and like had made it short. It was really cute. Was that your wedding?
I don't know. I've definitely had brides that do that though.
And it was super cute. I don't think I'd want my daughters cutting my dress though.
I know, like, but you have like 2 of them, so like, are they gonna have a piece of your? Do you have your veil still?
Of course, I have my veil.
Oh my gosh, that's just so cool. I love it.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, they're so funny. They're like, "What's my wedding dress budget?" I'm like, "You don't have a boyfriend. You don't have a boyfriend. What do you care?"
Literally me,
right?
I'm like, and I can't wait to be the first bride in the new Brooke Green exhibit.
I'm like, "Who you dating?"
Like nobody. Who are you texting? Nobody. And we have hope. It's okay.
Right. Well, fine.
We just don't. The problem is that we don't have an NFL football team close by.
Right.
We have to do some traveling.
We do. You and Piper and
I was gonna say,
Piper and
me and the
will
girls
go.
will go take a trip.
We'll just go. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So clean, white, and classic, or bold, colorful, and fun?
I'm gonna go with clean and classic because you're already in Brooke Green Gardens and you don't need.
Don't need
bold.
a lot. Yeah, I agree. Okay, for the bride, dress change or same dress all night.
Well, by the end of the night, I'm ready for bye-bye.
Yeah.
But I love, like, if they're going to an after party, like at the Pit or someplace.
Oh, yeah,
I
then
love
change that.
them when they change to go to that. I think
well,
that's
I will
good.
say, you know, at Brooke Green, because it's just, like, everything's outside and, you know, like we said, you don't have to really do much. Like, I wouldn't change dresses at Brooke Green. Especially depending on where you are in Brooke Green, it could be difficult.
Right.
Because, like,
with the facilities we have now for the receptions, the Leonard Pavilion, it's got a concrete floor. I mean, you're not going to get dirty.
Right. I would normally say, like, this is just my personal opinion, I love the outfit change, but only because I'm, like, obsessed with photos and I would want, like, every different photo possible.
And the reason I could see that somebody would want to do that is if they had a couple dresses and they just could not make up their mind.
Yeah. But that's also, like, you kind of have to feel out the vibe with, like, where you're getting married and what your theme is and stuff. And I feel like Brooke Green is that more, like, classic. Like, I wouldn't change my dress at Brooke Green. I don't know why, but that makes sense in my head. Small. This is the last one on this or that. Small and intimate or a huge party?
Oh, my gosh, both.
I know. Same. I feel like I could have, like, 5 bridesmaids or, like, 20. So, like,
I mean, if you're going to have 5, you might as well have 20 because.
Right?
But
I hope
if
my
you're
husband
gonna,
has friends. I mean, God, that would suck.
But, I mean, I love either. You know, I love the small, intimate wedding. Like, I just had a 17-person elopement in Anne's Garden, and it was gorgeous.
Anne's Garden.
Was beautiful.
Anne's Garden is the place for small and intimate.
Oh, my gosh.
It really is.
And then they went down to Polly's Island to Bistro 217 to have a lunch reception.
Oh, a lunch reception.
Yes.
See, that's so cute. I love when people do things, like, so different.
Yeah, they arrived at 11. She got her dress on in the cottage. We went over
and 11.
And then
what a
ceremony was
perfect
at
day.
noon. Pictures. And then they were gone by 1:30 down at Bistro having a reception luncheon.
Oh, that's the best.
It was perfect.
That happens rarely, though. Like, we had a wedding where ceremony was so early, and the whole, like, everything was done by, like, 4 p.m. And we're like, what do we do with ourselves? Like, we could go home at 4 p.m.
Right. Well, remember, I don't remember who the planner was, but we had the bride and her mom and her bridesmaid, just one, arrived at like 8. Wedding was at noon. Lunch reception. They were gone by 4. It was all done.
That's so crazy.
That was a Saturday that we had, like, Saturday night off, and I don't think we knew what to do with ourselves.
Yeah, right? We never, like, Saturdays, like, my friends and family know, don't ask me what I'm doing on Saturday. Don't text me. Don't call me, because I'm going to get FOMO.
It was a big adjustment for my husband and our kids for me not to be home on Saturday. Because I'm gone at 8, and I might not be home until midnight.
Like, after midnight. I mean, it's like, the day goes by so fast, so it's not ever, in my opinion, like, ugh, I have to work a wedding on Saturday.
Oh, I love it. And it's so
like,
busy
you look
and
forward
it
to
fast.
it. Yeah.
It's fine. You've been working for this for a year. This is what you've been planning for.
And then after, you're like, you get
like, that was a great wedding.
Like, oh my gosh.
I loved it. It was fun.
I can't believe
I'll miss them.
Yeah.
But I do miss my brides.
Me too.
I totally do.
Me too. Okay, so what's your favorite all-time memory of us at Brooke Green? No pressure. I mean, we have like
I know,
so
you
many.
made me think of it. I mean, you know, I love all of you. I love Sarah. I love Karen. I love Allison. I love you. What I feel is like, I think we have such a good relationship between the venue and you guys that we work well together. And so all of them are really fun.
It's so much easier when, like, you get along well with your vendors. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it doesn't ever feel like
And
work.
I trust you guys totally. You wouldn't put me in
Well,
a
if I don't know
situation-
anything, I'm the first one to be
Right.
like, hey, Anna. I'm like
Right.
texting you on wedding day. I'm like, hey, like, do I need to close this or whatever it may be, you know? One of
know.
my favorite things that we just started doing, sorry, now
That's all
the
right.
caffeine is kicking in.
Right? You and your Kim K drink.
I know, my Kim-Aid. It's not really lemonade-y, but anyway.
Is it
It's,
alcohol?
oh my gosh, I wish.
No.
Not this early.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. Nobody told me.
I would have poured you some. No, I'm just kidding. We at Live Oak LA, we will push the gate open at the same time.
Oh, that's our new favorite thing.
It is because the entrance.
Okay, you know, we have the bells that go off on the hour and the half hour. And so that's
Yep.
what we tell the brides. We're like, once the bells ring, that's your cue.
Yeah.
You know, we get married at 5 or 5:30. The
Right.
ceremony start because we close at 5. So the wedding party goes through. Mom's already down. We close the gates. You get the cue from the DJ or the musician.
Right.
That it's time.
And we're like, sometimes we're so, like, Live Oak LA, you don't think you understand. It's such a long aisle that, like, we have radios, but of course it's ceremony, so we don't want to be loud. I mean, sometimes we can't hear the music depending on
can
what
never
it
hear
is.
it.
So sometimes I'm like literally on the phone with the DJ just so he can like cue and be like, okay, next song, because we can't hear.
Right. And
But-
so, you know, the bells ring and then everybody's through and then we open the gates and the bride and her dad or whoever's walking her down
that's
the
so good.
aisle, they go. And it's like so magical. And whenever I'm giving the venue tour and I tell them that's what happens, they're like,
Sold.
this is it.
I know.
Done. Can I write you a check right now?
My favorite was Michael and Matt. Once again, shout out, we love you. But they walked together down the aisle.
I love that.
I know. And like, so when their song started and it was their cue, obviously the gates were closed and they like stepped out at the same time. So like they met each other at the same time and then we like pushed the gates open. Oh my gosh.
I
It
think
was
we've got
like,
video of that. Don't we have
I
video
hope.
of that? I saw one of us doing it and I was like almost tripped over a plant. I was like, that's nice.
because we're also like in the bushes, like hiding. So we're not
Right.
in like the photos.
Right.
But like that dramatic entrance is like everything. I love it.
Yeah, as soon as we talk about that, brides are like sold.
Yeah.
I want that.
Oh my gosh. I
It's
love it.
totally a fairy tale princess kind of moment.
But that's like what wedding day should be. Like it should be all the dramatic things, like all
And
the
the brides don't know
feels.
anything. If anything bad happens, only you
Oh
and
my
me
god,
know about
I know. That's like so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, but that's also why you hire us.
it.
It's like you
don't
don't
need to worry
know.
about that stuff. We'll take
Yeah.
care of it. The only thing we can't control
Is the weather.
is the weather.
Literally. Like we've had like, if your shoe breaks, like if your dress pops open, like okay, we can fix it.
I think we've
Like,
sewed the
so
back
many-
of a wedding dress while she's getting ready to walk down the aisle.
Oh, wow. There's like, I mean, this is like so typical of like groomsmen is like the button falls off or like something, and you have to sew something for them or fix something, and like right before
I
ceremony.
don't remember
it's like,
whose
okay.
wedding this. I don't know who the planner was. I don't remember this, but the groom had bought bow ties for all of his groomsmen, and he didn't open the packages until we got there, and they were getting dressed under the tent in the Palmetto reception. They're putting their ties on. They weren't clips; they were ties, and none of the guys knew how to tie a bow tie.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to go find
They
a guest in the gardens that knew how to tie a bow tie. I'm like recruiting
No
men in the
way.
gardens, asking them if they knew how to tie a bow tie.
Oh
and
my
so I had all
gosh.
these guys coming in to help these groomsmen get their ties tied for their wedding.
That's so funny. So we just had a big S&B training where all of the girls from all of our locations came, and it was like a really fun few days where we just talked about everything, whatever. And one of the things that we did in our workshops was learn how to tie a bow tie and a tie on everyone. And it was like, I didn't know how to do that before.
I mean, we had YouTube on our phones. We were trying
Yeah.
to do this, and then like 4 men came in. We're like, we know how to tie ties. We're like, thank you. I'm like, can I give you a ticket to Brookgreen? I'm like, please, what can I do? Thank you so much. And they were already members, so it didn't matter. But they just loved being part
I
of it. And
haven't
their
run
wives were
into
taking
that.
pictures, and it was a cool moment.
Well, now I can say I know how to do that.
Good,
Which
gonna
I'm
call
so
you.
excited for when I do get a boyfriend. I'll be like, I can do that. It's like a flex,
Right,
you
you'd
know?
be like, come on, let's go see Anna.
right?
This has been so fun. Thank you so much for having me. I had a
Yes.
blast. I hope you learned a little bit about Brookgreen.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, Anna, thank you so much for coming. Your stories definitely take the cake, and I love Brookgreen. I can't wait to work with you over and over and over again.
I think we've got lots coming up this fall.
We do. So, Anna, give out your social media shout outs so everyone can check out Brook Green. They have to put the visuals together. I mean, we've talked about so many things, so they have to go and look at all the crazy
we have
things
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Everything.
I think everything.
Is it just at Brook Green Gardens?
I think it's at Brook Green Gardens or at Brook Green _Gardens. They're all it's all right around there.
You guys give them a follow, check them out. You have to put the visual with all the stories that we've talked about today so you can actually see how amazing and beautiful Brook Green Gardens is. Follow us and subscribe to us. Stunning and Brilliant Events on Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Don't forget about Threads, guys.
What's that?
Oh, Anna, Threads is like...
Oh, Threads.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said the Reds, and I was like, what's the Reds?
Oh, no. We can't let Threads die, and we're like the best on Threads. We're so funny. Facebook, I said TikTok.
I do love your TikToks. I do watch them, and I laugh so hard.
We're so funny. God, it's so hard.
And I'm always
so
like,
funny.
when you're like doing the lip syncing or whatever, I'm always like, what song is that? And then I hear my daughters playing. I'm like, oh, I'm too old to listen to this.
Once again, we have to hang out with your daughters.
Right?
Thank you so much again for listening to This Takes the Cake.
Come see us at Brook Green Gardens.
Yes, we love you. Goodbye.